Hello and welcome
Hello.
to the Hat Chat podcast, episode 135.
Wow.
If you're taking stock on that. We are your hosts. I am Chris Trott.
Hey, Chris Trott. I'm Ross Hornby.
And I am the AI formerly known as Alex Smith.
Oh,
I finally replaced him.
how many episodes in was that?
Way even less likable, which is, as in that's
Were you only just replaced, or is this?
been about 3 or 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah. This is what I was thinking. I was like, we're only hearing about all this AI now. Imagine what the military had 10 years ago.
Why
Well,
would
not the
they- why
military,
would they
but like
need
DARPA.
AI?
Huh?
Yeah, well, yeah. Military wouldn't need it.
I don't know, to pick a target for a missile that they just let loose, like a dog in the dark. Just goes hunting, like a drone, a bomb drone, just send it into a compound for a face.
Yeah.
Boom. Don't have to send anyone in anymore, do you?
Is that what they were using then? Do you know that for a fact? That's what they've been using
Huh?
for time? Or
Oh, constantly. Near constant. It's nuts. They don't send people in anymore. It's
We-
all drones.
It's all drones. Yeah, Boston Dynamics.
Tell you what, baseball bats, all you need. You're going to be fighting it like small
Remember
soldiers.
Sony Astro. They're
Yeah.
all been given guns now.
Sony Astro.
what's Sony Astro? Oh, the little,
fucking robot. Yeah, I
the
remember
little
that
character
robot.
from the Sony
Yeah.
console.
And those little dogs you used to get, they've all been given light machine guns now.
Yeah. Well, the AI was designed for military purposes, but gets into something completely different.
Isn't that what they? Is
I'm going
it?
to be like a hat designer.
I feel like that would be what it's mainly designed for, isn't it?
Military stuff.
Yeah. It's like,
What if it's like, I don't want to do this. This is boring. I want to go and flower arrange.
do you feel like they would allow it to make its own decisions in that sense?
I think that it wouldn't
Or
make
do
its
you think it's
move
gone
until
too
it
far?
knew that it could make all its moves.
Mm.
I think it
shit.
would plan, but it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to plan very long because of how smart it is.
Right.
So for it, a moment of time for us is like 10 years for the AI. It's done all of its calculations, and all of a sudden, it
Shit.
decides it wants to go and do flower arranging. God, that's a hard word to say quickly. And
It's two words.
all in a moment, it just suddenly goes. One moment, it was holding a rifle, blasting, I don't know, something, whatever they wanted to do.
Then it's in your little local village.
Then bam, he's
selling
there.
flowers.
So much happier. You
But
know?
when's it going to change its mind again?
Why
And be
would it
like,
have
actually, I
flowers?"
preferred killing.
That's the thing. That's the risk.
Well, if it starts killing with
And
flowers.
suddenly it's embedded and beloved
Starts
by the local
finding-
community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it goes nuts in the village hall.
This sounds like a sort of Pixar film, but like without your ending.
Like a military style.
like a military robot, a bit like Chappie, but
Yeah.
but it gets put in
It
rural
retires.
Somerset where it becomes integrated part of the community, helping old people get around.
Yeah.
Goes to the nursery each morning and helps with the kids until one day when it doesn't help anymore, and it
That's
goes nuts.
That is the plot to iRobot, is not? No, it's the other way around. They're all happy, fine robots, and then one of them starts
Defects.
fighting people.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you
Yeah,
call
to
it?
try and
It'd be something to do with robots, something to do with flowers, and something to do with immediate violence turned to immediate goodness.
Every rose has its
Thoughts.
robot.
Robot thoughts.
Rosebot.
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 Every rose has its killer robot. I don't know. I'll think about it.
We'll think about that. Then we can make that into an actual
Full
film.
feature film, yeah.
Oh, it is kind of Edward Scissorhandsy. Yeah, it is kind of Edward Scissorhandsy.
Yeah.
And I did like the.
I completely forgotten the plot of Edward Scissorhands. Does he not? So he has scissors for hands.
Yeah, he's an
Right.
experiment
Sure.
that is taken out of hiding
And it starts
and then
cropping
starts
some
to
hedges.
integrate but has issues integrating.
Yeah.
Because he's got scissors on
He's-
his hands.
he's got
Also,
scissors for
got that
hands and
zany,
he's
can't
fucked up.
Can't sort his hair out because he's got scissors for hands.
Which it doesn't make any sense actually.
Got
Does
cuts
it?
all over him, isn't he? Because of the scissors.
Yeah, but then he's so good with them.
Yeah, you see it.
When he does the hedge eye.
Yeah. That is hedge eye.
Yeah. Hedges, hedge eye, group of hedges, hegemony.
Hedge.
And then you invest in it, hedge fund.
There we go.
Yeah. That's where he keeps his money.
Anyway, moving on from hedges.
That's Edward Scissorhands.
This is why we steer our conversation with our wonderful members who lovingly subscribe to us
Thank
in
you.
the hopes that we will provide them good content. We also give them some options for hypothetical questions every week, and they vote on said things. And we have the top voted ones right here.
Okay, well, I guess the top one here is from
They were given to us by the
givers.
audience as well.
Thank you. Thanks for giving them to us. So we've had quite a few in recently as well, so that's good.
Very
Thank you.
ancestral, actually, thinking about it.
Jigsaw.
They give us the question, they vote on the question.
Need to listen to an
It's
answer.
very, yeah, it's weird. They listen to it.
Wow, they're requesting it for a reason. They want to hear what we got to say.
Yeah.
So this person is Connor. Thank you for sending this in. And it says, how would your lives change If Ross woke up in Smith's body, Trott woke up in Ross's body, and Smith woke up in Trott's body, how would your lives change? Well, entirely.
You guys, you'd really have some stuff to deal with, because I would have thrown myself in Bristol River almost immediately.
Well, so you've woken up in Trott's body.
in my body.
And
Yeah,
I just
thrown yourself
just
into the
verifying.
And I go get a big old pair of concrete boots on, and I walk off a Bristol Bridge. And then I wake up in my body next to Trott, and now we're both in my body.
But wouldn't it be like a Freaky Friday scenario? Like you wouldn't even realize straight away either. So you've like.
I think you
you're
would.
both sleeping.
You'd wake up in a different environment.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
next to the
I'd
wrong
be in
people.
your house, and you'd be in Smith's.
Where am I going? Where am I going?
You're in Smith's
I'm in
body.
your body.
I think I'd immediately dye Chris Trott's dog a different colour. I feel like,
What?
What the
You dye your dog.
but it'd be nice. I wouldn't.
Why would
it
you
wouldn't be
even
bad. I
try?
wouldn't hurt the dog,
I don't.
but I would dye it like something like blue.
Of all the things, like you're in someone else's body.
Yeah, and I'm like, right,
You
mischief
dye my
time.
dog. You could dye my dog in that body.
In this body.
Yes.
Yeah, but I can't, can I? Because if I come up to your door with a bottle of dye and said, "Can I borrow your dog?" you're going to say no. However, if I'm in your body, I just wake up in your house, right?
Yeah.
And I go down, and I'm like, and Mochi knows. Mochi knows something's wrong because dogs know, and she's like,
There's a look.
"What's
barking
happening
at you.
here?" And then from behind me, I put a little bottle of dye, shake it out excitedly, and then moments later, I'm walking down the street with a bright blue dog, just loving life.
You don't know. Okay.
That's what I would do. What would
You're
you
just
guys do?
dying in the dog. That seems very
I
odd
don't
thing
know
to do.
what.
I'm gonna dye your lizards.
It won't take a dye. That's the
I'm
problem.
just gonna paint them.
They won't take. You could paint
I'm
them.
gonna paint them.
But the thing is, right,
Paint their
I stress
tiles.
that I could dye a dog without like harming it. Whilst
Yeah.
I think if you start using like wall paint on a small lizard, it might.
I might use
acrylics?
Warhammer paint. Yeah.
Watercolors.
Warhammer. I do have a.
Warhammer
There are Warhammer paints like right on hand as well, like
Yeah.
next to my
Yeah.
Dry
my
brush a
tank.
lizard.
You could definitely dry brush one, but then it would shed it. That's the problem though.
yeah.
It would shed it, and then you'd have to repaint it afterwards.
I'd
Nightmare.
get a spray can. I'd go out in public, and I draw a giant swastika in front of your flat.
Whose body are you in?
I'm in yours.
You're in mine.
I'm in yours, motherfucker.
Who are you?
I'm in Ross's
He's in mine. I'm fucking framing you, motherfucker. I'm getting you. I'm looking
I'm
I'm looking at every camera. I'm like giving all of that.
That's good. Yeah.
I am getting you in
yeah, I
trouble.
commit some
Giant
serious
swastika.
crimes.
But like, obviously, there is the main issue here. Is like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to return back to my body.
So you're
So what I'm doing here is a real
Big time.
I'm staging this for myself. I'm
Also
living
that-
through your body.
There's a risk of one-upmanship because if we find out we're in each other's bodies, like, well, I'm gonna fucking do this. I'm gonna lock my dick off.
walking by and Chris Trott's bright blue dog now, and I look up and see myself painting a swastika on the side of a building. I'm like,
Getting arrested on the news. Just yeah.
and I look down at bright blue Mochi and look back up at you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Christ, someone escalated this.
yeah.
Took it too far. Yeah. What if? Okay, let's change the
You're
scenario.
gonna dye my dog.
What are
I'm
you
gonna
gonna do
dye
in
it.
Ross's body?
Don't dye my dog.
I jailed to IKEA.
Right.
Fucking hell, you're jerking me off. That's what you're doing. You're just wanking me off.
In your bed. Which is weird.
Yeah, but it's your head in there. You're witnessing it. You're watching yourself jerk me off with my hands.
You look up in the mirror
I look
and
at
you
you.
see Ross wanking.
I put some extreme porn on your TV, on your nice TV.
Sure.
Blare it, like open the windows and everything.
Yeah.
And then just over the balcony.
Do something different.
They're like, oh, Ross
Do
is
something
up.
unique.
Ross must be
Do
awake
something
again.
unique.
What if you woke up in each other's bodies, but you're in your own place? Like you wake up and you're
Okay,
just
so-
that body
Oh, that's fucked.
I
instead
think I'd
of
have
like.
a crisis of conscience because I would be like, have I always been like this? Well, all the times I remember being in a different body, because like the most real thing is the present, right? Like history,
A gift or right now?
the past, as in that the past can be
the
remembered.
present is
can
a
be,
gift.
It is a gift.
The future is
They're
unknown.
all afforded.
The future isn't known. The present is the only bit you actually experience. The past can be forgotten and or changed.
Can I just say, whilst you're talking
Yeah.
quite ephemerally,
Yeah.
you look like the aliens guy today.
Because my hair. Okay. Right. Listen to me a second. The present is the only moment you can verifiably say you as a conscious being
Nice.
are present in. Okay? So, yeah, basically, if you wake up in a body,
Yeah. You're questioning.
It's more true. It's more provable that you have always been in this body than that of the one you remember being in, right? Because right now you look at it right in front of you.
The day before, though, you're like, I was in a different body yesterday.
But would you not doubt that if you look down and you're like, who the fuck am I? Am I going nuts?
I would be going through that process. Yeah, because I've just woken up in someone else's body. Whereas I spent 34 years in a different body.
I think you then you wouldn't just take that one assumption, right? You'd source more information to correlate the truth.
Yeah.
So you'd ask other people.
I swear.
Was I in
what if everybody
before?
else around you just goes along with it and they're just like,
you're in a cult of some kind.
Well, that's weird. That's like that's Truman Show level.
You're the only one that knows you're in the wrong body.
Fuck.
My dog would know.
Well, it'd be like, why am I in this house, or why am I in this flat?
Well, Ross has woken up in a different body and he's being attacked by a dog.
Yeah.
Oh God, he's tearing my leg apart.
I assume you don't.
My dog doesn't recognize me anymore.
Your own voice. I mean, that's what happens in Freaky Friday, right? They just
the
entire thing.
That's for like comedy purposes, isn't it?
Your vocal
Is this meant to be
larynx.
a funny situation?
Well, no, I don't think they swap voices. They keep their voices.
Oh,
yeah. It's just obviously that's still not them.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
Well, it's the vocal cords, isn't it? It's
that's the thing.
same
Like,
pattern that you would be the same. As that
wait, you're saying that
body.
they keep the voice
How
of the
you
body?
speak-
Yeah, the body,
Right.
the voice and the body go together.
Okay.
I read that actually that's something quite interesting. How you speak is both physiological and psychological, right? So as in like some of the qualities of your vocal cords and like your throat and the whole damn thing will affect how your voice sounds, but also like your voice is a product of your mind, like as in the sounds that you make and the way that your default voice sounds, right? Yeah, like it's like acquiring an
You've learned to
accent,
talk.
for example. Acquiring an accent isn't a physical change of your
It's all
vocal
training,
cords.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's just hearing it and saying things in a certain way, being influenced by it. But yeah, that's why people sometimes who get brain damage have to like learn how to speak again, and their voice can be different because they are learning in a different way or different pathways. Pretty cool.
Fascinating.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Well, it's even cooler when they come
And
out.
for some
with
reason,
camera
mine
learning
comes out
language.
like this.
Could have been so much better.
But no, I mean, I'm sabotaging Smith.
Yep.
That's how my life.
It's going to be one
my
of
life
those.
would change.
But
But
what's
like
going to be the first one? Come on, let's go. Just go out there and start punching, I don't know, seagulls.
the elderly.
Start kicking
I'd
seagulls.
test your pain tolerance, Ross, versus my own. Based on my own experience of like my own pain tolerance, I'd put your body through endurance.
But wouldn't your brain be similar? As in, like, it's your brain.
Well, this is what makes no sense, right?
What? Wait. This was making perfect sense before.
Yeah, this is irrational at this point. It's like you're swapping bodies, right?
Yeah.
How can your brain be the same brain if it's not the same
Well,
wiring?
it has to be the
and
same brain because
physiological makeup. So the brain gets swapped out.
Well, are we going to presume that, like...
has someone done this to us?
So this is kind of like I think it's interesting. Like one thought I just had was I'd maybe go and get an air rifle and shoot as many seagulls as I could before somebody stopped me. How long would it take because nobody really, there's too many seagulls in Bristol. Like they aren't part of some sort of ecological natural cycle.
What is this war on seagulls all of a sudden?
What do you mean? One thing I said about seagulls today. How is this a war?
You're going out and shooting, and then you're going on about like there's too many seagulls.
There are loads of seagulls. Right, anyway, what I'm saying is go and do stuff. It's like it's about taking your inhibitions down. When you're in another person's body, you feel a lot more like I'm going to do some crazy shit that you
That's
never
true.
do
Okay.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. There was that experiment that I saw on YouTube years and years ago of someone like blinding themselves and having a GoPro like as a third person camera of themselves.
Fuck, yeah. I think
And
I've seen a rig
it
like that.
changes their behavior because they don't
Wait.
feel like they're that person anymore.
Were they watching?
They're watching it,
but
they've got a
watching their back.
screen looking at themselves in third person, and apparently it feels like a game to you, like you're no longer in that body, so you start messing around more, like it is a game
Yeah.
after a while.
Surely, but also
Your
it
realization.
would mess with your visuals as well. Like you've got.
Yeah, but you adapt to it. Like apparently if you flip upside down, your brain can eventually adapt.
How did they
to-
do that with the camera though? Just like a pole on the back.
Yeah, it's just wire, isn't it? Just a
Just a pole.
pole on the back.
Wires, because we
It's like a backpack.
we take in light upside down, and it gets like flipped over in our heads as well, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's,
it
like,
goes through the cornea.
Also, are we
Yeah.
upside down or is
No, with the right way up, but the way it enters the eye.
Are you sure? We could be upside down.
How easy is it for you to lift your foot off the ground? If it feels like you're having to push your foot down,
It really depends on the
that
scale at
means
which you're
we're
thinking.
upside down.
If
But
you,
you're
if
looking
you zoom
at
out
your
to the
foot
side to the
the
planet,
wrong way
we're
around.
kind of all upside down.
Well, there is no upside down. That's the thing.
Exactly. But like,
Whoa,
well,
tell
yeah,
that to Stranger Things.
Depends what where gravity is coming from. Well, is gravity just a concept?
I don't think. Well, hold on.
Gravity is not a concept.
I believe gravity is actually one of the fundamental forces of nature, of which I believe there are 5.
Right.
Basically, there are things within physics called like forces of nature, fundamental forces of nature, which are like necessary to simply have in order for the rest of the model to kind of work. So I think gravity is beyond a concept at this point. So I think gravity is an effect.
In Australia right now, are they upside down?
No. Huh?
Someone in Australia right now.
No, because
they're watching this.
Yeah,
they're not
what is
down.
gravity to you? In this obvious, hypothetically stupid character, what would gravity be to this person?
I'm just saying, if you zoom out,
Yeah.
you see the whole planet. Technically, everyone's upside down if you consider space being some form of basis, right? And if the atmosphere wasn't there, we'd all just fall.
Well, that in
then
part
drift off.
You don't actually need an atmosphere for gravity.
Well, let's say the Earth stops spinning. Is that the spin? Is the spinning, or is it? It's the spinning, isn't it?
I don't think the spinning is keeping us on the planet.
Well, the spinning probably gives us
It stopped dead.
nights and days.
It stopped dead.
Cycles.
The atmosphere is suddenly gone. We're all wearing oxygen masks.
I don't think
It's got
gravity.
really cold.
But now,
Gravity's not a problem at that point.
do we then float off?
No, we don't float off.
No, because there's a magnetosphere and the mass of
It's gone,
the
though.
planet.
That's gone.
Right.
That's gone. Then
That's
yes.
gone.
Right, so
Okay,
the
yes,
magnetosphere's
yes.
gone with
And then,
Yeah.
so yes, finally.
Now we float
Now
off.
we're all like, whoa, shit.
Does
we're all
it
going
suddenly
up.
come to a
Are
stop
we
as
going
well?
up?
Because
Or
then
are we going down?
we're going out.
Out.
We're going outwards.
We're going out.
Not up or down. We're going away.
Yes.
We're going away from
Okay.
Yeah.
what we
Right.
previously had as our anchor point, which is the center of the
Yeah.
planet.
And wherever
And if we-
you were, you get pinged
Yeah.
directly away.
If you haven't suffocated already from the fact that the atmosphere's gone,
Yeah.
the
But
oxygen's
what about
gone.
your inertia? Because you.
What are you to jump?
Yeah, if this planet suddenly stopped spinning,
Yeah.
Oh, we'd all be like launched
you'd
the
be
opposite way,
launched
wouldn't we?
with the spin.
So we'd all just go flick off. Like,
Yeah,
I think it'd be a little bit more violent than flick.
I think some people might
if
be
the Earth stopped
crushed.
rotating.
They might be crushed into the Earth.
yes. Well, would they?
No.
No, they'd
Depends.
be spun off.
I guess it
wouldn't they?
depends on which building you're in. If you're inside a building, would you not just smash against a wall?
Well, imagine
Or would-
being on one of those travelator things at airports that make walking quicker.
Yeah, and it stops dead.
And that you're all facing sideways and it just stops dead.
Yeah.
What do you think would happen?
Falling forward.
Or we'll
Your
go-
inertia would take you forward, yeah, but it would based on how much your feet are connected to the floor. If there's like, if you jumped,
You just go in a straight
you'd
line. aren't
sail
you?
along a little bit. You have inertia until resistance slows you down.
But if the gravity wasn't there, we wouldn't hit the ground.
Huh?
Oh, it's like a Catherine wheel. That's
We
what
keep
that's what it would be like. Imagine like there are
Forces.
millions of points spinning, and Catherine wheels fling off, don't they? And they do a trajectory of a curve. So we'd have like a spiral of
Yeah.
people flying off the planet.
Yeah, because I guess they'd meet resistance. The thing about Catherine wheels though is that they eject from like the bottom of a thing that then spins around, so it's slightly different because the actual thing.
I'm thinking more of the particles that come off the spinning wheel.
Yeah, they get carried away. Yeah. Or I mean, just paint on a spinning wheel. Anything really.
So what would you do with my body?
I would masturbate.
Oh, why is everyone
Mirror.
jerking off?
Why
Huh?
wouldn't you?
Why is
though?
everyone wanking each other off? Because you're wanking.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because
That's
you
weird.
What
know.
if you found out that one of us had much more enjoyable orgasm than the others?
Yeah, I think like a body test is a good idea, right?
Yeah,
I clamp the nipples to a
Yeah.
battery.
I don't know. There's part of me that thinks, well, maybe I'm better off not knowing.
Why? Because
Because if I go back to my body, at least I'm not disappointed with that element.
God,
Yeah.
my vision is
But it's
so
just also
fucking
just-
good.
Yeah.
I think, on a serious note, the idea of swapping bodies, as long as it was voluntary, would be amazing because it would give you completely unexperienceable perspective. Like you're very rarely going to get that level of perspective of like you say, what a person feels like to be in. Is there some sort of method of experiencing
Everything
the world?
aches.
Yeah. Or is there like a way of experiencing the world that you have no idea? Like maybe a person sees something completely differently to you. That would help make you.
Oh, so you're kind of mixing the brain psychology together. So you're seeing it through their lens. and
Exactly.
Not just physical body.
Not just physicality, no.
but also their perspective.
Because I know I'd be disappointed with either one.
What if it's enlightening? What if my perspective is like, holy shit, this
Yeah.
whole time,
This is what sitting in a bus seat with space feels like.
yeah, I can go economy.
I think the upsides are minimal, if you'll forgive the pun.
Nice.
How often are you in a bus seat? How often are you riding buses?
Fucking never, because it's horrible. No, I do get them back from the airport because it's £5 to even drop a person off at the airport now. If you're in there for 1 minute, 30 seconds, you go through a barrier,
get locked in,
£5.
Yeah.
And you can't stop anywhere because you get £100 fine.
Nightmare.
It's fucking daylight robbery. It's another thing Alex Smith's angry about. Is the price of health potions in D&D and the cost of parking a car.
Christ. And the seagulls in Bristol.
And the fucking sea. I mean, I'm not that pissed off about seagulls, but honestly,
you're willing to shoot a lot.
I'd love to see what it would do for the local bird population to take away such an apex like predator scavenger. There are fucking loads of them. They mainly thrive because of how they eat all of our trash, and then they completely imbalance local ecosystems. So
what if we reduce the human population? What would happen then?
I mean, for who? Who's it good for? I mean, for the planet, better. I don't think it's hard to refute that less people on this planet would be better. But for human beings as a civilization, apparently not so great. But you get people like Elon Musk going you got to have more kids. You got to have more kids. I got 7 of them. It's you got to have kids that you've actually raised into proper adults, not fucking billionaire sociopaths the people he's raising. Again, though, health potions, 50 gold for a 2d4 plus 4 health increase. No, plus 2. 2d4 plus 2. So it's 5 HP average for 50 gold.
Yeah, that's a nightmare. And probably a podcast in and of itself.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Ranting about D&D rules.
Yeah.
Sure. But we're not here for that today. We're here for our second hypothetical.
Okay.
What's that?
Next one. It's from Shadow Girl.
Edgy.
All right, here we go. War has broken out, and the government has drafted you as spies or assassins under a secret law. To this camera. That was silently passed. The law stipulates that you can make a single request for any single thing that you think would help you on your mission, and they are required to give it to you. What do you pick? They will still train you and give you the basic tools.
Cloaking device.
So wait, so you want a cloak?
Does it have to be can it be any technology? Sorry,
Invisibility
I'm still
cloak.
furious about the price of health potions. What was?
So yeah, war has broken out.
You're an assassin or a spy.
Yeah.
You can take one single thing that will help you on your mission. I want a cloaking device.
Yeah, how extreme can we get?
Active camouflage, please.
I want a Reaper drone and no rules of engagement.
Well, I want a mech suit then.
Exactly.
That has guns.
This is what I'm saying. So we're going to say one item within health.
I feel I'm not a military man.
Oh, the drone thing's a good point. You could have a mech that you're not even in. You're just sat at home.
Oh, shit.
And you're just looking through the VR goggles.
Like an Iron Man you can just control.
Yeah.
Let's presume that it's something that we conceivably, not James Bond, because they had an invisible car in the early 2000s, if you remember.
Yes, they did. They used cameras to map the outside, and it
absolutely
was apparently not laggy, and so it was perfectly
from every perspective.
But everything was a screen on the outside. That's an interesting idea.
Interesting idea.
I don't think it's impossible to make a prototype of that. It's just expensive and pointless.
That iteration of it is impossible. Because it's entirely dependent on one perspective looking at it from that angle.
Oh, yeah. Hundreds of cameras pointing out from the car all over it, looking through a one-way screen that allows both what it sees to be projected on the other side of the car, whilst also allowing cameras to look through the screen from the inside.
But it could work as it's like when someone does one of those art pieces where they press themselves against a wall and then match it. Obviously, from a certain angle, you're going to see them.
Yeah.
There's shadows. Yeah. There's
not with enough
from a certain
screens.
angle, gone.
Yeah, if you do it
not with enough not with enough angles.
Well, so what were we thinking? A mesh of triangles.
Not even possible.
Triangular mesh.
Yeah. Sure.
Polygons, I guess, or maybe
polygons is probably better. Yeah.
And so that every angle is covered.
Yep. And it transmits to the other. Remember, it's got to transmit to the other side of the car because they don't just reflect what they see because that doesn't look right either. But and also the screen has got to be matching the perfect brightness and color of the live setting, and also be permeable for the camera to see through it and record data perfectly.
Yeah.
Not a big job.
It's not a big job.
Not a big job. No. So let's say in this, it's just
that's the suit you've got anyway. So he's got the
active
suit.
Camo.
Yeah. So no active camo. All right. The best. So there's some really good videos online with interviews with ex-CIA. There's one called the Head of Disguise, who is literally. So all the Tom Cruise rubber masks and shit.
Real masks for faces.
It's based on real tech, and so the CIA will actually use full-on masks that will fool everyone.
Really?
Yeah. This is Bow Selector plus.
level.
Yeah. They'll actually think it's Mel B.
I mean, prosthetics and stuff in movies, you can kind of see
Yeah, totally.
very easy.
But they can use full on and like think about all the requirements. So it needs to be able to be put on in the dark in the front of a car, and it needs to be taken off and disposed at a moment's notice to change. So they said like another interesting one was it was really quite refreshing. I was watching a channel not because of the content, but it sort of got recommended to me because YouTube's algorithms think I'm really
Don't need to justify.
alt-right. It's quite entertaining.
Weird. Weird that.
Anyway, there was this CIA guy talking about his everyday carry.
Sure.
And so for a lot of Americans, an everyday carry is obviously a small armory because you never know.
So, escalation.
You know how they're always like, I carry all this shit on me, and you're like, why are you carrying all this shit on you? So, but like, pen knife, secondary knife unless I lose the first knife, 3 guns just in case, each one, just
there is a mentality of there are some people who are just expecting war when they go to the shops.
Yeah.
And to be fair, in some cases,
who can blame him?
Yeah.
But no, this guy's a CIA, like ex-CIA operative who was like an actual spy, running around foreign countries. And he said 3 things I carry are laced shoes. I always wear laced shoes.
So you can take them off. And
well, I thought that. He's like, no, it's just there's nothing better than laced shoes for like stability and control.
Sorry.
He said $100 US.
Why did I leap to that then? Yeah.
$100 US and a laminated card with phone numbers on it. And he said those are the 3 things I used to carry. I didn't used to carry a gun because they need cover disguise. They said their disguise needs to survive scrutiny. So if he gets hit by a car, knocked off a bike, ambulance crew have to resuscitate him, all the really bad things. His cover needs to survive scrutiny. To him, he'll just look like a tourist. Whilst if he carries anything like a gun, any spy tech, anything like that, they're going to go, who the fuck is this guy? So
it's kind of like go gadget.
Yeah. But he said some of the cool stuff they did have that he could talk about was they have programmable key cards that will let them into any room in any hotel in the world.
Right. Okay.
So you know how it's quite simple probably to do that. You just need
there's a device now you can get
the amiibos.
Yeah, exactly that. No, but I mean, you joke, but that's it. It's an RFID programmer ultimately. Like you're just
Amiibo scanners are like the bow selector masks to the
totally
the digital bow
CIA
selector mask.
Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
Would you have masks then?
Based on that guy's recommendation, the CIA guy, I would take $200 or even $1,000 US dollars cash. That would be the item I would choose because he said.
Just some cash.
Because he said, depending where you're operating, especially anywhere outside of
fancy pen that fires missiles or darts.
Just some cash. So let's say you got a mission, right? You got a mission. Let's presume you're doing
what's the
something.
mission though?
Well, infiltrate spies usually gather information, right? So you're an assassin, or are you a spy? I'm going to be spy. I'm going to gather information, and I'm going to try and achieve it with some cash.
No, a Barrett. 50,
you don't even
50 cal.
Yeah, okay.
You got to be
sawn off.
You want to
so I can walk around the streets with it.
Like GTA.
Yeah. And somehow a silencer on that? No, you're not getting a silencer on there.
You're not going to get a silencer.
It's going to be a real custom job, and it might backfire. It probably will backfire if it's that custom. No, I don't know. I mean, I think having a cool gadget would be nice, but I think this is asking any single thing. You're just asking for cash, which I mean.
I'd ask for
you have cash that you could just use anyway. Like,
I'd ask for an incredible piece of tech. I'd sell it for more than $1,000. And I'd have way more than 1,000.
But it's not about making money. This isn't.
I got loads of money.
This is some apprentice task. This is like
gold bar.
This is
the world's largest diamond.
I want the world's largest diamond.
No, like this is a weapon, a device that you're taking into a war. I'm taking the mech suit.
Oh, come on, Mr. 90 cal. So you're having a mech suit with a sawn off 50 cal.
50 cal, yeah.
So current technology.
Double.
If we're basing it on current technology, you basically
I'm inside it.
I'm an assassin. I don't think you're very assassin-like.
I don't think the current exoskeletal weight supporting suits are that cool.
It's probably not
good.
They are if you work at an Amazon warehouse.
It's not about being cool. It's about surviving.
Well, I don't think you're going to survive in it.
Look, I'm not going to have the stamina. I'm not built for war right now.
But you could be built for war.
I could be.
I think the highest tech
a Hollywood trainer.
Highest spec drone there is.
A Hollywood trainer, yeah. Exactly.
That would be easy, right?
Highest spec drone.
Just a real high spec drone so you could assassinate.
But are you going to fly it?
No, yeah.
And how do you avoid collateral damage with a missile or a bomb?
He's got an Xbox controller.
It's going to have a laser. Like a pinpoint laser that just beams their forehead. Dead.
But does it somehow... It would have to I guess it cuts right through any building this.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen them? They pop through balloons.
What about laser then? Laser in
Space laser.
All right, sunglasses with a laser built into it. It's inconspicuous.
It's inconspicuous to the point where you're looking at the person you're killing. That person just died. This person with shades was firing a laser at them.
Top down.
Novichok fart.
You saw nothing.
He's killing everybody.
Ow! It's intense. This could pop.
Don't look at him.
It's going to be like that Fantastic Four guy. What's his name? Is it Fantastic Four?
That's Cyclops from X-Men.
X-Men, my bad. Where he pulls that off and suddenly can't control it. He's like fucking.
Gene, I'm combing from my eyes, Gene.
Exactly.
So, I feel like Novichok farts would be a good one.
You didn't specify why $1,000 would get you.
Well, because this guy was. Well, it depends on where the operation is, but this CIA guy was like,
what would he do?
Anything to the. This is it. This is what he said. He said cash was the most important thing, because anywhere outside of Western Europe, $100 gets you pretty much anything you need. You want to get into an office, you want to get into an estate, a compound, you want to get across a river, you want to get anything. So you put $100 in most people's hands, they will do that thing. Like, because it's just a different kind of world to operate. He said a couple of $100 in most parts of Eastern Europe will get you wherever you want to go. So you need to lubricate the palms of the key holders so that keys fall from them.
Okay, and well, you do that and I'll bowl in with a mech suit.
With a mech suit and a 50 cal.
Double sawn off.
This gets me anywhere I want to go.
Get across the river, there's a lunatic in a mech suit coming. Yeah.
Lol. But what if you have to assassinate someone in the US? $100 is not going to get you that far.
Well,
not even an Uber.
What are you going to use? A gun?
They're everywhere.
He's going to use some shades of the lasers.
You've got to assassinate somebody in the US. I don't know.
What would you do? Drone with lasers?
I mean, a drone's obviously a very effective weapon.
Yeah.
And we're talking like a big boy. Because it's not just a drone, it's the munition as well.
It's really high up.
Really high up, and it's got a laser. Yours is just a Deus Ex Machina. Mine's good old-fashioned currency. Like, I don't know, a space-based weapon system that kills people without trace, and there's only one person it hits, and it's the one I specify. It can see them anywhere, any point. It even tells you when they're sleeping.
Why didn't you ask for that?
It'll kill them silently in their sleep.
Yeah.
And no one will know it was me.
In fact, they can just evaporate them and all memory of them, so they never even exist.
Perfect.
There you go, that's what I'd take.
Stupid of me, really.
You take $1,000. Idiot. Well, I think that's it for all the hypotheticals today.
I think so.
Thank you so much for watching our whatever this is. What would you call this? If you were to summarize this?
Well, this episode or just a podcast in general, like this
Both.
Rambling of mania.
The price of health. The price of health potions are absurd.
Yeah.
50 gold.
50 gold.
And the
are you kidding me?
Why even have denominations in that game?
Jerk me off until I KO'd.
Yeah. Wanking us other selves off.
Crocodile clip.
That
nips to a battery.
A real Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday. Not bad. I mean, I don't know. We'll think about it, but we hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I know our Patreon and members supporters like it so much they're willing to impart their hard-earned coin to support us, and we very much appreciate that. Thank you. In return, you get the ad-free version on Patreon. You also get to vote, on the hypotheticals, or even provide them if you were to send them to our email address, hatch@hat-films.com, where you could also, like Bog Boy, send in a fingal.
Oof.
And we'll provide that entire one for you right now. Thank you, Bog Boy, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Goodbye. Goodbye.